Modern culture has a recurring message: relax, chill out, avoid stress at all costs, because it's a killer. We are constantly encouraged to suppress our competitive edges and smooth out our aggression in the pursuit of comfort. But stripping away that friction does not bring peace. It breeds a corrosive state of aimlessness. Having no stakes and no pressure is a more direct path to mental decay than stress ever was. The human mind does not thrive in a vacuum. It operates like a high-performance engine. To function correctly, it requires a constant inflow of raw pressure. The impulses we are often told to medicate away, stress, ambition, and raw assertiveness, are highly combustible. They are the exact fuel the engine needs to drive forward. Self-control is not the eradication of these natural drives. It is the deliberate construction of an internal architecture designed to capture that energy and aim it. Robert Greene spent years wandering across Europe, trying to write a novel in Paris and London. With no deadlines and no discipline, the work collapsed. The lack of structure left him in a state of deep depression. He only began to find his footing when he submitted to extreme external pressure. Working in journalism, he had to write under immediate deadlines. Working in Hollywood, he had to master deep research and dramatic storytelling. That structural friction forced him to forge real discipline. This process of forced adaptation is driven by neuroplasticity. Research by UCLA neuroscientist Dr. Jeffrey Schwartz clearly demonstrated that deep, disciplined thinking changes the physical structure of the brain. By repeatedly practicing a complex skill under pressure, you are wiring new connections that did not exist before. For a young person, choosing to study while others are having fun feels like a sacrifice. But that temporary discomfort is the physical sensation of the brain laying down circuitry that will pay massive rewards years later. Real power is built in high-stakes environments. You have to seek out difficult spaces because the fire of that friction is the only thing hot enough to forge new neural pathways. Once that internal engine of skill is built, you have to seal the system. If you constantly explain your motives or complain about life's unfairness, you bleed valuable energy. Whining and oversharing broadcast a lack of discipline. If you cannot control your mouth, it signals to everyone that you have no self-mastery. The effective alternative is to say less than necessary. Sit back, let others reveal their hands, and only speak to utter something brief and calculated. That silence creates an air of mystery and control. This restraint faces its hardest test when you encounter criticism. Absorbing a harsh critique without a defensive reaction reveals a fully operational internal filter. Silence and a thick skin function as strategic armor. They protect your internal energy from being sapped by petty social friction. Modern culture is currently confused by the concept of masculinity. Young men feel a natural surge of testosterone and competitiveness, only to be told these feelings are inherently toxic and must be suppressed. We have lost the archetype of the quiet hero. Today, the models are loud, abusive caricatures or passive men terrified of their own nature. We forgot the man who is in control of himself and doesn't need to push people around to feel strong. Channeling involves taking that raw, combative energy, gripping it tightly, and then forcing it entirely into a complex, demanding task. Robert Greene took his frustrations and his desire to expose manipulation and poured that energy directly into writing the 48 Laws of Power. He deliberately weaponized his aggression into a work of art. When a man focuses his aggression into his work, he has no desire to dominate others. Treating others with deep respect reveals a man who is entirely secure in his own strength. Your competitive drives are the engine of your ambition. You just need the discipline to aim them. You see the truth of a person's character the moment they are handed institutional power. If they have not built an internal engine of restraint, the elevation exposes every crack in their foundation. Under the weight of high stress, the mask of politeness fractures. A weak person becomes reactive and starts to abuse those beneath them. A strong character absorbs that pressure. When a project fails, they stand up and take the blame. They become the unshakable anchor that the rest of the team can rely on. That level of stability cannot be faked. It is the result of years spent voluntarily submitting to the quiet grind of acquiring skills and practicing behavioral restraint. Stop explaining yourself. Stop avoiding the hard path. Accept the pain of the process, do the work, and let your actions speak. Self-control is the mechanism that allows your power to be aimed and unleashed into the world.